Welcome to my channel. I am GDP, and today I am releasing my Delacium army guide for PvE in the Flame Shrine and Broken Spaces. Before we get started today, I would appreciate you guys hit the like and subscribe button down below. We just are under 2,800 subscribers as I checked. Right now, actually, it is 2,797, just 3 shy. So thank you guys for supporting me in this process of my growing and hitting that subscribe button. So first things first, all PvE teams must have a Heart Watcher. And also, disclaimer that this infograph is assuming that you are using your Phoenix pet. You could use a wolf if you're using a Thakwa, but as you can see in my previous videos, there is a bug between wolf. It's possible there's a bug between a Thakwa's bleed buff and wolf and their interaction, but have not gotten that confirmed yet by DH Games yet. But in all situations, it is best to level up your first dot dealer or damage dealer to E5 first. So that means no matter what, it's best to E5 your Garuda, your Thakwa, whatever you're using for your damage dealer, level that person up first. So for the first 6 copies that you get of Delacium, you're going to basically choose what you're going to use these Delaciums for. So if you have a Garuda or a Aspen already built up, you could use your Delaciums for support with the Sigmund by carrying the Sigmund's armor debuff all the way to round 15 by letting the Sigmund die and keeping that 100% armor reduce. So to do that, the best situation actually is to have a 10-star Delacium with a 5-star Delacium. The reason for this is because you have a higher percent chance to extend the armor debuff. It's 70% at the 10-star. It is possible to do this with 2 9-stars, but there are times where you might, on the off chance, not hit that 50%, and you will drop the armor debuff. So the 10-star makes it a little more reliable, and this allows you to have your next copy to go right into a 6-star Delacium, which gives you that next 50%. So that's great for that. But if you have an Thakwa or a Nakia or an E5 Sigmund, whatever you have, if you have a really, really high dot dealer, you're going to want to run a 2 9-star Delacium setup. It is possible to run 2 6-stars, but your damage potential is going to be a lot lower because you're missing out on 1 dot replication. I would also like to mention that you don't have to have Garuda or Sigmund as your damage dealer, but any other damage dealer that does really, really high damage could work, like a Terra, maybe a DA. Whatever you have for your damage dealer would work in this situation. You could also bring in a Drake into your team. That will greatly reduce the stats of one enemy on the bosses. And this is really, really, really good in the broken spaces because there's only 2 bosses. So that means half of the HP pool in that node is going to be basically defensiveless. So that is why we are clearing broken spaces super, super, super fast now with Drake. Actually really hope that they extend more broken spaces stages because of this. We are starting to clear broken spaces super fast with combination of Delacium Army and Drakes, and I really hope DH Games starts realizing what they're doing to PvE and Idle Heroes, because we are starting to just annihilate everything with all these support heroes that are able to just make insane amounts of damage output. Once you get your 7th to 8th copy, you're going to want to build your next 6-star Delacium. So whether you're going with your dot replication, with your Thaqua, or your Nakia, or your Sigmund, whatever it be, you're going to want to build that next 6-star and then move it on to 7-star, then 8-star, then 9-star. But if you have Garuda built already in Aspen or any other damage dealer, you're going to want to build the next 6-star for the 50% chance to extend the armor reduce or attack reduce or whatever it is to help boost the Garuda's damage or the Aspen's damage or the damage dealer's damage. But then moving on to your first 9 copies, you're basically going to finish out your budget Delacium army with your 9 stars. So 3 9-stars for the Athaquas and the Nakias, and 10-star and a non-star for your Garuda or Aspen, whatever damage there you have with your Sigmund. I have found that you don't really need to take Delaciums up to past 10-star. It is your choice. If you need the survivability, sure, maybe take them up past 10-star. But in PvP, I haven't found too many uses for an E5 Delacium unless you're in the early game. A little bit more later on that. But I haven't found in the end game where Delacium is making too much of an impact. So it is your choice if you want to move your Delacium past 10-star. But I don't recommend it if you're just wanting to get a PvE team that is really good all around for really high damage. So it's pretty much up to you of what you want to do past your first 9 copies. Obviously, you can make the next ones 10-star, your 9 stars 10 stars slowly, but I'm not sure about going past that if you really are just trying to get a budget PvE team. But if you are in the early game, like say you are a new player, the building path actually completely changes. It is possible for you to use your first 9 copies to build an E5 Delacium. Now the reason for this is because one E5 Delacium can go really high in Sealand. If you just stack up a bunch of debuffs with, like, say, some Skiris, like a 5-star Nakia, Cthulhu, and just throw in a bunch of mix to get a bunch of debuffs, you can go really high in Sealand. I have seen a single E5 Delacium kill Sealand 20. You do need a Kiss of Ghost for that, so that is a pay-to-win territory for the Sealand 20. But it is possible to get Kiss of Ghost for free. It has been offered for free in the past. You can use your crystals for a Kiss of Ghost. So it is up to you on what you want to do on that. But for a free player or a free-to-play player that is new, it is possible to go really high in Sealand with your Delacium. So it is a very viable option in early game. Delacium also is a really good hero in the early game PvP. Delacium does really high damage output. Most likely, heroes don't have Unbending Will because they're not E5 yet, so the Delacium will just shred through everybody and do lots of damage, and you'll probably win a lot. It's kind of like a Penny situation where the Penny was able to just do so much damage and just overload the team, and it's kind of like the same situation with Delacium where he kind of just does that. But once you build that E5 Delacium, you're going to want to keep that Delacium until mid to late game. At that point, you're going to have to make a decision if you want to regress the Delacium to build or round out your 9-star copies. It's up to you, but basically it is once your Delacium isn't making a huge impact for you in PvP, you have the option to regress him to building a Delacium army. So I think that's a great option for new players, and Delacium's all around just a great hero for early game PvP. I think he can go pretty high in Aspen Dungeon. I'm pretty sure he can get you through Hell. But once he gets to the late game, he becomes a little less useful in PvP, but he's still really, really good for PvE in the Broken Spaces and the Flame Shrine. So he always will have a place for either supporting damage dealers or doing insane amounts of damage with Dot Dealer. So thanks for tuning in today and watching my video, and I plan on making a PvP tier list eventually. I'm gonna let the dust settle kind of with the meta and see what happens before I make the tier list, because I don't want to throw out stuff and then it may end up being somewhat wrong, and I want to make some changes, and I don't want to throw out sloppy work. So I've been working on this Delacium guide for a while now. I finally just put together the artwork today. It took me several hours. So thanks for watching this, and see you guys in the next video.